Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 108, and my name is Jason Erpelding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC, and this is Scott Barrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and Buy and Sell DVC.com.
And today is March 1st, 2023, and your 11-month window from today is February 1st, 2024. 7-month window is October 1st, 2023. If you're looking for Buy and Sell DVC, it's buyandselldvc.com. The rental side is DVC-Rental.com. And the time change is coming up soon. I don't think it's this Sunday, probably 10 days from now.
I'm not even sure. Thanks for springing it on me.
Hey,
on the 12th. On the 12th.
There we go. I always love the time change. You get the longer days. So hopefully you're ready for that. Wait, but spring forward, we lose an hour, right?
And we gain it.
Spring forward,
Yeah.
fall behind.
Spring forward. So 5 a.m., it's going to say it's 6 a.m.
So we lose an hour.
Yes.
So we'll be coming back to you sooner than...
So if you're out for walks in the morning, it's going to be pitch black out. But it'll be staying lighter at night, which is very nice, especially in Florida.
So we're into the current state. Oh, we're going to start on the buy and sell side of things. And we're going to talk about the current state of the resale market. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but now is the time to buy versus...
It seems like it's a buyer's market.
Yeah, versus last year at this time. You know, last year at this time is when the buyback started, especially for Saratoga Springs and Animal Kingdom, which causes, you know, the buyback really affected the prices for those two resorts, because if someone went in at, say, 122 a point and then Disney bought it back, then the next thing you know, prices are 125, Disney's buying it back, then it's 128, Disney's buying it back, 130. The prices kept going up. And now Disney is not really buying anything back in regards to right of first refusal. So now it's whatever you negotiate with the seller. So the number of listings have gone up. The number of buyers are not keeping up with the listings. And now you have, if you're a buyer, you have a lot of options to choose from. And what's funny to me, maybe it's not funny, but when these things happen, you run into buyers where, you know, like they haven't looked at, or they've looked at DVC in the past. They regretted buying, say, X amount of years ago because the prices went up. Then the prices come down, and then now they're jumping in. They're like, this is awesome. I can, you know, so it's like I say, if you're looking to buy, this is the time to buy.
Yeah, I mean, we have a friend of ours who sold some contracts because he had to at the time, and he got in at he sold at a decent price, and now the market's coming down. He's looking to possibly get back in again. He's like, all right, you know what? The things have changed a little bit. My situation has gotten better, and all of a sudden those lower prices are starting to pull him back in. So it might be an option for a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
You got out, you know, you made some money on it. You know, now might be a decent time to start looking to it again.
So, and again, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not, I've been involved with the resale market since 2004. And for the most part, majority of, if you take 2004 to 2023, it's just relatively consistent. You know, like prices will almost remain the same, and then they'll go up $2 to $3 per point. They'll be at that way for a long. And it's just like this. I mean, if I'm drawing a line, it's just a gradual increase, right? There's nothing dramatic. It's just steady, right? But ever since March of 2020, if you were to graph it out, it's like, I mean, we're talking extreme highs, extreme lows. The whole thing last year with the Saratoga and Animal Kingdom buybacks. You know, it's been it's been
unpredictable at least. At least unpredictable.
It's been a wild ride. So
you don't know what Disney's doing with their buybacks. All of a sudden they're being super aggressive on Saratoga, and like, where did that come from? Right. And then all of a sudden they just stop completely. You kind of never know what's going to happen at this point.
Yeah, and then there was like okay, what is Disney about to do with Saratoga? Like, people thought there was going to be some announcement or something. Like,
On one of the episodes a while ago, I said, I don't know what they're doing. They must have some special plans that they're buying all these back because it doesn't make any sense. They've got to do something. Haven't heard anything yet.
Nothing. So, I mean, if you haven't checked out the market, now is the time to look at the market and look at, pursuing a property because it's a good time to buy. So that's really all I have on the current state of the resale market. Now we're on to the food review.
Ty, roll that magic clip.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So for today's food review, I checked out the Ale and Compass for the first time ever. That's at Disney's Yacht Club, Beach Club. So this is from last week. I mentioned I stayed in that area that one day and got a bunch of things. So I tried their Chipotle barbecue chicken flatbread, which was white cheddar, pickled peppers, and onions. And that's how it's worded. And I wasn't sure how I felt really about the pickled peppers. I like onions. Onions are always very good. These onions were pickled as well. Are you a pickled fan? Like pickled onions, pickled peppers? Have you ever had it really?
I mean, I'm sure I've had, but I don't remember the experience.
It's pickled like vinegar or something, so it's bitter.
Okay.
And if that's your thing, you may love this sandwich. I thought this pizza, I thought it was horrible. This was probably the worst pizza I've ever had in my life. It was on the smaller side. It's $19 and it's the normal size of like a flatbed pizza that you find at Disney. So it's, this big. I put my hand over it. It covers like half the pizza. And normally a flatbread at Disney is about $12. And this was $19. I had to pull all of the peppers and the onions off. And even after that, it still was bitter vinegar taste on pizza. Now, this may be, I will say with them on there, this is probably, I think, the lowest score I've ever done. It's a 2.2. This was horrible. Once I took them off, I gave it a 4.7, and that's just because it still had a very strong vinegar taste to it. So I can't endorse this pizza. I absolutely hated it. I ate it, because I paid for it and I was hungry. I ate it, but was not a very good pizza. Again, if you love pickled items, you might sit there and think this is a great pizza. It's got barbecue sauce instead of sauce. It's Chipotle, chicken, and this stuff. And it just wasn't very good. But I did try a second item, and in the upcoming weeks or so, you're going to find out if I liked that one better from Ale and Compass.
So this is your worst pizza you've ever had?
Yes, this is the worst.
Let me ask you this. Do you know your second worst pizza you've ever had or no?
No.
Before this experience, you know what your worst pizza was?
No.
No. Okay.
If you sat there and said, would you rather have like a frozen pizza or this pizza with the peppers and onions on it? Frozen pizza by far.
Okay.
Elio's pizza by far. It was terrible.
Because when you say that was the worst pizza in your life,
I don't recall what it beat out because truthfully, it's kind of hard to mess up pizza.
Right.
But this, with all the pickled peppers and onions on there, I took a bite. I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't eat it. Just immediately scraping everything off. And even with it off, again, with it off, it was a 4.7. So it wasn't terrible, but it had a strong vinegar taste. And again, if that's your thing, you may love this, but apparently that's not my thing. And I did not like it.
Because when you said it's the worst pizza ever, so, my kids are 13 and 11. Back when they were like 5, 6, 7, 8, we would get, like everyone's having birthday parties. And that's whenever, like the birthday parties are much bigger at that age. And then, there was a birthday party at a roller skating rink. Okay. And that was the worst pizza that I ever had. So anytime we got an invitation for a birthday party to that place, I would tell my wife that she needs to go because I couldn't eat their pizza. So I just want to share that experience.
I will say, after I took it off, again, I still gave it a 4.7. At that point, it's not the worst pizza ever. With all that stuff on there, I thought it was the worst pizza ever. So taking it off kind of saved it, and I was able to eat the pizza. But there's no chance I could have eaten half the pizza, a quarter of the pizza, with leaving the pickled stuff on.
And you had this before the dessert, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I had this before the dessert from the boardwalk that I had last week. We had lunch, and then I said, I need more stuff to, for the reviews. So we walked over to the boardwalk area.
And was this a shared item? Or were you there by yourself? Or
I was there with my wife.
and was this a shared item with your wife? Or
I don't think I could have paid her to eat this. That was mine. She got something else, and I had some of her other.
We'll find out about that later.
Exactly. I had some of her meal, and that's why I'm
knew
able
it.
to review. This was my item, and it was a bad choice, Jason. Bad choice.
it's not good.
I remember one of my Facebook friends said that they really enjoyed the pizza that they had here. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this. I don't know if it was the same one with the pickles, with all the pickled peppers and onions, but whew, it was not my thing. Not my thing.
Now we're on to the DVC rental side of things.
So a lot of times, I mean, you'll see it online. People don't understand what renting points are. So, what is renting points? Why would you do that? So I figured I would just quickly discuss what renting points is. So when you rent points, Disney has their Disney Vacation Club. He's in charge. He's the broker. He sells the contracts, and you get a certain amount of points every year. Points are used to book rooms at the deluxe Disney resorts. It's really only the deluxe Disney resorts. So when you rent points, say Jason's an owner, he's got points he's not going to use this year. You pick a room that you want. You can go on to our check availability tool. It'll tell you every resort that's available. You select exactly what you want. And then I contact a member like Jason, and we book the room for you. Everything's booked in your names for you. You get a contract. Everything links up onto your My Disney experience. So at any point, if you wake up at 2:00 in the morning and you're feeling nervous for whatever reason, you're able to log in and see your room. And even though it's the DVC members' points, it's not like the room is in their names. It's booked in your names. If you're the Smith family, it's booked under Smith. It's not under Erpelding. So it's deluxe resorts. And by renting points, you're typically going to save about 40 to 50% off of Disney's prices as well. One bedrooms are always the closest to Disney's prices. So studios and 2 bedrooms would normally give you your best savings, but you get about 40 to 50% off of the prices. If you go to our deals page, that's where we have confirmed reservations for sale. These are rooms that are already booked by our DVC members that they're selling the reservation. So those reservations are locked in. And again, if they're at the normal rate, you're saving probably 40, 50%. But a lot of times, as these are getting closer to expiration, we'll have them discounted on our deals page. So a lot of times recently, we've had them 75% off of Disney's prices. And with all of our reservations, I do want to mention that they come with our no questions asked travel insurance. So if you've got to cancel your reservation, because when you pay for a room, you pay it to us and we pay the DVC member for you. If you've got to cancel, we've already paid the DVC member their portion of it. So we're never able to give the money back. But what we do with the travel insurance is that you do get a credit. And that credit can be used for up to 2 years. So, and truthfully, if you need to go a little over 2 years, we're pretty flexible about it. We don't really post that anywhere. But if you ever mention that, hey, we're not going to be able to make this trip in the next 2 years. Can I push it off for 3 months? Honestly, it's not a huge deal. And all that comes for free with our bookings. So again, discounted rooms, you get the free insurance. It's at all the deluxe resorts. These are at Disney's top resorts. Disney has the values, then the moderates, and then the deluxes. All of the DVC resorts are deluxes. So you'll be staying at all of the best resorts that Disney has for a lot less than what Disney charges. So definitely a good option to look into. Typically, the people who book with us always come back and book with us again. They don't go back to Disney because, once you stay at the deluxe resorts for half off, there's really no reason to go back to Disney's pricing. So we always want you to come back to us year after year. We try to do a great job with all of our reservations. So we want you to tell your friends and family, because the people who come to Disney come back to Disney. A lot of them have kids. Their kids, you have friends that have kids your age. They're going to go to Disney. So again, we want you to always come back to us and tell your friends about us.
Like you say, there's some people that say, what is renting points? If you had to guess the number of people who have rented points, if you had to put a number on it, someone is asking you for the best guesstimate, a number of people have rented points since the beginning of DVC. Not just from you, like in general. Would you say that that's over 500,000 different people? Or would you say
every single company from the existence of time renting DVC points?
Well, this is a time, of course, since 1992. But
Yes, but since it's the creation of DVC, that's a tough question.
do you think it's over 1 million?
No.
Okay.
500,000,
get-
maybe less. I mean, the way I always picture it, and I've said this before, and I don't have honestly any proof really for this, is that like if you walked around Magic Kingdom and you asked people like, did you rent points to stay here? I mean, it's well less than 1%. I mean, I think that if you asked 100 people, are you familiar with renting DVC points? Maybe 2 out of 100, maybe even are even aware that renting DVC points is a thing.
I would agree.
I mean, maybe half of the people know what DVC is. The other half of the people have never even heard of DVC before, even though there's stands in the resort, at every park and at the resorts, and they're pushing DVC. I'd say half the people there, maybe more than half the people, don't even know what DVC is. And then the smaller, much smaller portion know that, oh yeah, you can also rent DVC points and not be a DVC member to stay for discounted rates. I mean, I walk around Magic Kingdom and I'm like, man, nobody here knows. And it's sad because it's such a great deal.
It is sad. I mean, that's what because like there is this chunk of people that know about it, right? And then of course, you're trying to expand that chunk all the time. But once you get into that chunk, I mean, you're either going to keep renting or usually turn into an owner. But yeah, you're gonna stay in there. Once you find out, you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. How did I not know about this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, Disney Facebook groups online. And, if you're one of those Facebook groups and they talk about renting points, again, as you said, once you're in the know, you always are going to rent or you're going to become a DVC member after a couple of trips. But again, I think that's such a small subset of the people who actually are going to the parks and they're staying off property or it's their first trip or, there's so many people that just don't know about it. It's not like it's anybody's fault. There are several big companies and some smaller companies have popped up over the years, and I'm sure the percentages are going up a little bit. But I bet you if you walked around, there's so many people there who have never heard of Disney Vacation Club or definitely renting points.
Or they think that what's the catch? There is no catch. I mean,
we had one of our advertisements the other day. It was on a buy and sell advertisement on Facebook, and the guy went on there. I was like, oh yeah, great. So I'm stuck in one of your timeshare presentations. I'm like, no, there's no timeshare presentation. We're an online, realtor. You literally can go, we're showing you the contracts. You literally can, click make an offer and put in your offer and that's it. There's no presentations. I mean, I went to this thing at, Marriott back in the day and, I was stuck there for 3 hours. I'm like, again, that has no, and that was like, I was like, that's not Disney Vacation Club either. That was a Marriott timeshare you went to. So I think a lot of people don't know, and people still think in their heads that what's the catch on this? Do I have to just do a timeshare presentation? On renting points, there's no timeshare presentation, and even on the resale side, where you're buying the timeshare, there's no timeshare presentation. Jason's not coming to your house to pitch you. He's not forcing you into a Zoom call where he's going to high pressure sales you. I mean, it's online. Everything's online nowadays. You're not coming here. We're going to stick you in a room and try to give you, offer you free tickets if you sit through a 5-hour presentation. There's none of that.
Yeah, these people, they go to they check in, super easy. They walk into the room, they see their name on the TV. They're like, whoa, this is quite the deal. How did we not do this before?
It's such a small thing that Disney added the names on the televisions. Now, I don't think it's on every resort yet, but I love that. It makes you feel special, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's so stupid. You walk in and it says, welcome Ferrioli family. And you're like, whoa, that's so cool. And it's such a silly little thing, but glad they do it.
Exactly. Thanks for watching. Be sure to come back next week and be sure to move your clock on the appropriate day.
Also, haven't said it well, make sure you please hit the subscribe buttons. Check out our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on regular Podbeam. So you might be listening to this as a podcast. We're all over the place, but please check us out and give us some love. Talk to you soon.